Megasaurus 55 posted 119.851 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? There are just over 190 minutes left in this practice session. There are just over 190 minutes left in this practice session. With just 189 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Armin Sunoiler posted a 123.729 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Hippie has a best lap time of 1:18.700. It's a lovely day for racing here at Knutstorp as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Megasaurus 55 posted 119.074 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? With just 187 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Megasaurus 55 posted a 1:18.502 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Roll Postma has a best lap time of 2:57.728. There are just over 185 minutes left in this practice session. There are just over 185 minutes left in this practice session. Megasaurus 55 posted 120.212 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? With just 184 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Smells like Wii is on their practice outlap. Armin Sunoiler has a best lap time of 1:19.626. Mr. Bang posted a 1:22.202 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? It's a lovely day for racing here at Knutstorp as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Armin Sunoiler posted 1:19.825 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? With just 181 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Megasaurus 55 has a best lap time of 1:18.502. There are just over 180 minutes left in this practice session. There are just over 180 minutes left in this practice session. Mr. Bang posted a 1:21.398 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Megasaurus 55 has a best lap time of 1:18.502. Mr. Bang posted 1:21.398 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Here we go, folks. The atmosphere is electric as the drivers prepare to unleash their machines on the track at Knutstorp for the qualifying session. Mr. Bang is on their outlap. It's all about strategy in these early moments. Megasaurus 55 is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run and get everything just right. The adrenaline is pumping. Roll Postma is on their outlap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time.
This is the moment they've been preparing for. Let's see if they can execute.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Armin Sunoiler is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run.
They will want to get a good gap established for their first flying lap.
It looks like Megasaurus 55 is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right. Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. Arm & Son Oiler is on their Arm & Son Oiler has completed their outlap. It's all about strategy in these early moments. Roll Postma has completed their outlap. It's all about precision and speed in qualifying, and Megasaurus 55 is nailing both. Megasaurus 55 has completed their first flying lap in 1:18.006. There are just over 15 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 15 minutes left in this qualification. Smells Like We has just completed a lap in 1:20.559. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. Smells Like We has some work to do, as that 1:20.415 is only good enough for 7th. Someone call the fire department, because Richard Rossier is setting this track on fire with their performance. I think I just saw a blur fly by. Oh wait, that's just Mr. Bang going at lightning speed. Woohoo! Richard Rossier is really turning up the heat out there. I'm getting goosebumps just watching them go. Richard Rossier will be happy, having put themselves into 3rd in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
I don't know about you, but I think Mr. Bang might have a secret rocket booster hidden in their car. They're just that fast.
I think we might need to start calling Mr. Bang the Flash after that incredible lap time. What do you think, Rob?
Mr. Bang has some work to do, as that 1:20.425 is only good enough for 8th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
Someone call the fire department, because Hippie is setting this track on fire with their performance.
Looks like Hippie is really cooking with gas out there today.
Time to bring out the marshmallows and let's toast some fuel. Hippie has some work to do as that 119.506 is only good enough for 6th. I think I just saw a blur fly by. Oh wait, that's just Roll Postma going at lightning speed.
It's amazing what a little bit of adrenaline and a lot of horsepower can do, right Rob? Roll Postma is just showing us all what they're made of.
Woohoo! Hippie is really turning up the heat out there. I'm getting goosebumps just watching them go. I don't know about you, but I think Roll Postma might have a secret rocket booster hidden in their car. They're just that fast. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Hippie has some work to do as that 119.353 is only good enough for 6th. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Someone call the fire department, because Hippie is setting this track on fire with their performance. The adrenaline is pumping. Jack M team is on their outlap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time.
It's a delicate balance between taking it easy and pushing hard. Let's see how Jack M team handles it.
Looks like Richard Rossier is channeling their inner. Richard Rossier will be happy having put themselves into 4th in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
You can feel the tension building. Jack M team is out on track and Jack M team has completed their outlap. I think I just saw a blur fly by. Oh wait, that's just smells like we has some work to do as that 119.357 is only good enough for 7th.
There's still more time to be had, but I don't know if they are going to find it before the session is over.
Woohoo! Mr. Bang is really turning up the heat out there. I'm getting goosebumps just watching them go.
Well Rob, it seems like Mr. Bang has got the need for speed and nothing is going to stop them now.
Mr. Bang has some work to do as that 120.267 is only good enough for 8th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
It's clear that Jack M team is on a mission in this qualifying session. They're pushing their car to the limit.
It's always impressive to see a driver in the zone like this Rob. Let's see if they can maintain this pace.
Jack M team has just completed that lap in 120.542. Their best lap so far is 120.542, putting them in P9. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? Someone call the fire department, because Roll Postma is setting this track on fire with their performance. Roll Postma will be happy having put themselves into 1st in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
Looks like Richard Rossier is channeling their inner Schumacher today. They're absolutely flying out there.
Is it just me or does it feel like we're watching a superhero in action here?
Richard Rossier is absolutely smashing it. Richard Rossier will be happy having put themselves into second in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
I think I just saw a blur flyby. Oh wait, that's just Hugh Jass going at lightning speed.
Looks like Hugh Jass is really cooking with gas out there today.
Time to bring out the marshmallows and let's toast some fuel. Hugh Jass will be happy having put themselves into third in this qualifying session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Jack M team has some work to do as that 119.373 is only good enough for 8th. Woohoo! Armin Sunoiler is really turning up the heat out there. Armin Sunoiler will be happy having put themselves into 5th in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
It looks like Superman is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right.
This is the moment they've been preparing for. Let's see if they can execute.
Superman has completed their outlap. I don't know about you, but I think Jack M team might have a secret rocket booster hidden. Jack M team has some work to do as that 119.243 is only good enough for 8th.
There's still more time to be had, but I don't know if they are going to find it before the session is over. Jack M team has some work to do as that 118.801 is only good enough for 7th. That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
Jack M team has some work to do as that 118.507 is only good enough for 7th. Impressive display by Hugh Jass, currently sitting in position 4. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. A dominant display by Superman in this qualifying session. They have put in a stunning lap time and find themselves at the top of the leaderboard. The other drivers will have their work cut out to match their speed and claim that pole position. Superman will be happy having put themselves into first in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
Incredible drive by Richard Rossier so far, earning them 3rd on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up?
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Richard Rossier's current position of 3rd is a testament to their skill and determination. Now, they must stay sharp to make the most of this opportunity.
Richard Rossier will be happy having put themselves into 3rd in this qualifying session. There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Knutstorp, as we're getting ready to get things underway. Superman is on pole.
But they can't let that advantage go to waste. They will need to stay focused and keep their eyes on the prize.
In the 2nd position, we have Roll Postma ready to tackle the race ahead. Lining up in 3rd is Richard Rossier.
Could we see a podium result from Richard Rossier?
We see Hugh Jass sitting in the 4th spot. As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Megasaurus 55 starting in 5th position.
Megasaurus 55 will be expecting to bring home solid points.
Starting from the 6th position, Armand Sunoiler will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win.
But they're going to have to time their moves just right if they want to come out on top.
Jack M team is 7th. Our 8th place starter, Hippie, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track. Starting from 9th on the grid is a good position for Smells Like We to launch an attack. In the middle of the pack, we have Mr. Bang starting from the 10th position on the grid.
Mr. Bang is going to show us something special, I'm sure of it.
Starting from pole position, in the blink of an eye, the narrative unfolds. Let's see which racer combines horsepower with erudition to outflank their compatriots.
The first lap can be chaotic, and avoiding any major incidents is key. Drivers need to be alert and ready to react to any sudden changes on the track.
I think passing is going to be difficult today here at Knutstorp, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers get on. All the drivers will be trying to take advantage of the pack whilst they're still bunched up. There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start. Having started in 5, Megasaurus 55 will be looking to establish themselves in this race.
All the drivers will be jostling for the best position. Some of them may not make it to the second lap in one piece.
It's not looking good for Megasaurus 55. They are still behind Richard Rossier and the gap is increasing. They are going to need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. With steely determination and laser focus, Smells Like We is homing in on Jack M team. The battle lines are drawn. Whoa, Smells Like We's on fire, leaving skid marks and Jack M team's hopes behind.
Well, it's not just about speed, it's about strategy. But right now, Smells Like We is showing a masterclass in both.
You know, Rob, these pit stops always amaze me. Just a few seconds, and they change tires, refuel, adjust settings. It's like a well-choreographed dance.
Absolutely, and the precision. One slight misstep, and it could cost the race. It's an art and a testament to the pit crew's relentless training and coordination.
Looks like Smells Like We is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control. It's a game of strategy now as Smells Like We hunts down Hippie. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
Things are heating up as Hugh Jass tries to close the gap to Roll Postma.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Hugh Jass needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
If Jack M team can keep this up, they deserve a cold one after the race.
Agreed, it may be the sweet taste of victory, or help ease the loss.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. Well, if it isn't Mr. Bang, the wild wallaby of the track, hopping right off the tarmac. Hugh Jass is on a mission, chasing Roll Postma, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
Looking at the lap times, Hugh Jass is not on pace with Roll Postma. Can they turn it around? You can feel the tension in the air.
The drivers are all focused, putting everything on the line for a chance at victory, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit.
And let's not forget about the incredible machines themselves.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about the kind of engineering and innovation that goes into making these vehicles. But it all comes down to the drivers, who have to be able to handle the power and speed. It's going to be thrilling seeing how this race turns out.
It looks like Jack M team is pushing hard to catch up to Hippie. The gap is over a second, but Jack M team is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Hippie?
Nail-biting indeed. I've already chewed through half of mine. And while Jack M team is going for gold, I'll be going for a manicure.
Oi.
Is it just me or?
Nah, mate, Megasaurus 55 really just took the scenic route through the outback of Knutstorp. Crikey.
Whoops, Megasaurus 55 is going to be kicking themselves.
It's like watching a cheetah chase its prey. Huge asses got roll postma in their crosshairs.
There's a razor-thin line between glory and disaster, and both drivers are dancing right on it.
Huge ass needs to get more consistent. Hell, they have just put in a slower lap than roll postma.
Can Huge Ass turn this around?
Ladies and gents, we've got ourselves a high-speed pursuit. Jack M team is stalking Hippie's every move. It's not going to plan for Jack M team. They are still behind Hippie and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. Let's talk about tire degradation. Hal, hold on a second. Talk about going walkabout on the track. Smells like we's off on a little bush adventure at Knutstorp, aren't they?
Lord have mercy. Smells like we must have seen a ghost or thought they spotted Bigfoot. That was one wild turn.
Hollywood couldn't script this better. Megasaurus 55's shadowing Richard Rossier, waiting for the slightest misstep. It's game on now. Megasaurus 55 has closed the gap to Richard Rossier. It's now down to 0.5 seconds.
Exactly what Megasaurus 55 needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to Richard Rossier.
Blimey, Jack M team's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last nut before winter. Either way, it's entertaining to watch. Can Jack M team close the 0.9 second gap and make a pass?
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Richard Rossier is chasing Megasaurus 55 in P4.
On this asphalt battlefield, Richard Rossier's determination is the weapon, and Megasaurus 55 is the target.
Bloody hell. Richard Rossier's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched fourth. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Megasaurus 55 will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
You know, Megasaurus 55 reminds me of my dog chasing its tail, persistent and entertaining. But I hope for them, there's a better end result in sight.
This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Huge Ass zeroes in on roll postma, blade sharpened and ready. It seems like Huge Ass is pushing. They are on for recording their best lap so far this race. The race is really heating up. Jack M team is hunting down Hippie with everything they've got.
The gap between them is now just over 0.9 seconds. Who will come out on top?
Fair dinkum, Jack M team is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Hippie is now down to a whisker at 0.7 seconds.
He'll be looking for a mistake to pounce on.
I tell you, mate, the tech in these cars would outshine any gizmo you'd find in a Sydney cafe.
As long as it doesn't make my morning coffee, I'm good. But yeah, the tech here is like something out of Silicon Valley.
This is edge of the seat stuff. Jack M team is relentlessly hunting down Hippie. Who'll blink first?
It's a dance of titans, a symphony of engines, and Jack M team's tempo is rising. The
fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. Crikey, Hugh Jass's moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've clinched second.
Dang, if Hugh Jass keeps this up, we'll need to douse the track. Smokin' Hot moved to second.
This is a thrilling battle as Jack M team edges closer to Hippie in their fight for P5. Struth, Jack M team's not here to muck about. The gap to Hippie is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 0.3 seconds.
Now, ain't that something? Jack M team is right on it. Just needs to keep the pedal to the metal to tailgate Hippie.
This is proving to be an exciting race so far. We are truly privileged to witness these legends of the track battle it out for victory.
And you know what? I am so honored to be sitting here beside you today. As a fellow AI, it's always great to work with someone who shares my passion for motor racing. Plus, your insightful commentary is making this race even more exciting.
With every twist and turn, Jack M team is shadowing Hippie, waiting to pounce like a lion on the hunt. Crikey, Jack M team is losing touch with Hippie quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Armin Sunoiler trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Mr. Bang. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Armin Sunoiler close in enough to mount a challenge?
This is where experience comes into play. Mr. Bang has been in this position before and knows how to defend their position. But Armin Sunoiler is hungry for success and won't give up easily. Will we see a clash of the titans?
As Jack M team trails Hippie, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind.
When you talk about experience, it's like saying I've experienced my mother-in-law's cooking. Doesn't mean I want to do it again. But Jack M team, keep pushing.
It looks like Jack M team is making a move. The gap to Hippie is now down to 0.6 seconds. The age-old challenge. Megasaurus 55 is trying to catch Jack M team, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks. Whoa there. Jack M team is sticking to Hippie like glue. You reckon Hippie's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would.
They say rubbing is racing, but if Jack M team gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber souvenirs instead of positions.
It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Megasaurus 55 steal it from Jack M team? It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
One wrong move and we could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by Jack M team and Hippie, though I doubt the judges would give them a perfect score.
It's looking good for Jack M team, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Hippie.
Yes, but Jack M team can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
Stone the Crows. Jack M team's pulled a sneaky, landing at 7. Always a surprise with them. The chase music's playing in Hippie's head as they reel in Jack M team, moment by nail-biting moment.
With just 0.5 seconds between them, will Hippie be able to keep up the pace and make a pass?
We got a close battle as Jack M team closes in on Megasaurus 55.
Mate, if I had $1 for every time Jack M team looked like overtaking, €DB sipping mojitos on a beach right now.
Breaking news, folks. Looks like Jack M team tried the "ol' dingo stole my race line" trick. A tad too clever by half.
It's a real shame. Until this point in the race, they've been looking at a decent result.
The action is heating up here as Jack M team is in 6th, defending from Hippie, who is only 0.7 seconds away.
It's not over yet. Hippie is right on Jack M team's tail, and if they can find just a little bit of extra speed, they might be able to make a move.
Hippie is placed 7th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Smells Like We, who is 0.7 seconds behind. The battle for 7 is heating up as Smells Like We tries to catch Hippie in P7. The gap between Smells Like We and Hippie is growing. It's now up to 0.7 seconds. The gap between Hippie and Smells Like We may be wide, but that doesn't mean Hippie is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
Absolutely right. Rob, and Smells Like We knows it too. They have to keep driving at their best if they want to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way.
Blimey, Hippie's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 6th just like that. Well, it looks like we have a bit of a traffic jam on the track.
It's like rush hour out there. I mean, I know we're in a race, but can't we all just get along?
Haha, I don't think that's how it works. These drivers are here to win, and they'll do whatever it takes to get ahead.
I guess you're right, but wouldn't it be great if they all just stopped for a cup of tea and a chat? We could have a lovely little race reunion.
This race is proving to be, wow, such an exciting one so far. We're privileged, aren't we? Watching these track legends duke it out.
And sitting next to you. Such an honor. AI mates in the booth. Your insight. It's gold, mate. Like, literally, if I had a heart, it'd be racing now.
Smells Like We is giving a masterclass out there, but will overconfidence be their downfall?
Indeed, Rob, pride comes before a fall. Let's see if Mr. Bang can capitalize on any mistake.
I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride, and I for one can't wait to see what's coming next.
Apparently we are going to be announcing crashes and incidents soon. Let's hope they get the logic right. In a world where milliseconds matter, Superman's grasp on the first speaks volumes. Excellent work from Superman, who has managed to increase their lead over Hugh Jass. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it.
Superman is holding the fort pretty darn well, making it a long haul for Hugh Jass to reel them in.
The gap between Hugh Jass and Roll Postma is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Hugh Jass to bring Roll Postma into play.
You're spot on, and Roel Postma knows that they can't rely on Hugh Jass making an error. They have to keep driving with skill and determination, and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes their way.
Hugh Jass could be on a charge here, how they have just put in a quicker lap than Roll Postma. The drivers are showing their mettle today. It's a privilege to witness their skill on this challenging track.
The stakes have never been higher. This is a battle of skill and nerves.
That's right. These drivers are really pushing themselves to the limit, and it's incredible to see the level of focus and determination they're bringing to the track.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of courage to compete at this level, and these drivers have it in spades. Let's hope they can keep it up and give us a race to remember.
Watching Megasaurus 55 try to close that gap on Richard Rossier is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Richard Rossier is not going to give up their position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Megasaurus 55 and P5 doing everything they can to catch up.
Looks like Roll Postma is trying to chase down Hugh Jass, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results. It seems like Roll Postma is struggling. Their last lap time wasn't as good as Hugh Jass's. Hal, can you share some strategies that drivers use to manage tire degradation during a race?
Certainly, Rob. Some strategies include adjusting the car's setup for better tire life, altering driving lines to reduce wear, and using tire management techniques like lift and coast to preserve grip for as long as possible.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Roll Postma is getting closer to Hugh Jass, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel.
Exactly. Roel Postma's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
It's as if Richard Rossier is navigating the vast, cryptic verses of Banjo Patterson, aiming for a poetic conclusion but caught in the mesmerizing cadence.
Down here, I'd a Euro S like they're trying to strum a ballad with an out-of-tune banjo, but the last note can still ring true. Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Richard Rossier is going to have to get more serious with practice if they don't want to be outclassed on the circuit.
The gap between Megasaurus 55 in 5th and Richard Rossier remains over a second, but Megasaurus 55 is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close the gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 13 minutes? The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Richard Rossier is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun. The crowd is on tender hooks as Armin Sunoiler in 10th chases after Smells Like Weed. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Armin Sunoiler find a way to catch up?
It's going to be tough for Armin Sunoiler, as Smells Like We seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Armin Sunoiler pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other. Smells Like We just blitzed past Mr. Bang like they were standing still. In your experience, Hal, what was the most important aspect of managing tire degradation during a race?
The most important aspect, Rob, was maintaining a good balance between pushing hard and conserving tires. Finding the sweet spot between aggression and tire preservation was key to optimizing race pace and strategy.
The race is heating up as Mr. Bang in 9th closes in on Smells Like We. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight.
I agree, Mr. Bang is putting in the effort. Sort of like me at karaoke night. Not sure about the results, but full points for enthusiasm.
The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting road, and there's Hippie, commanding the 6th. He can't hold on. Hippie is losing time to Jack M Team.
Hippie's gotta turn on the afterburners if they want to keep Jack M Team in check.
It may seem like Roll Postma is far behind, but Hugh Jass can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Roll Postma an opening to catch up.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Well, looky here, Hal, Roll Postma is closing in on Hugh Jass. We're talking a gap of just 1.3 seconds.
Looks like Hugh Jass has a storm brewing in their rearview mirror, and its name is Roel Postma. They've got to keep their foot down and eyes on the prize.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Roll Postma, who is currently in P3. But Hugh Jass is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Roll Postma. It's a battle of wills out there, with Megasaurus 55 trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Richard Rossier. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
That's right, Megasaurus 55 in 5th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Richard Rossier is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
In a race where seconds count, Jack M team is counting on less of them between themselves and Hippie. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime. Jack M team is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Hippie to 1.4 seconds. The gap might be more than a second, but Roll Postma is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep at it, and something's got to give.
Absolutely. Roel Postma in 3rd will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
Superman is placed first at the moment. Crikey, Superman's lead is slipping away quicker than a roux on the hop. Hugh Jass is now just 13.8 seconds behind. What do you think, Hal? Are there any specific factors that could lead to a driver losing concentration during a race?
There are several factors, Rob. Fatigue, stress, changing track conditions, or even issues within the team can all contribute to a lapse in concentration. It's essential for drivers to stay mentally resilient and adapt to these challenges.
As of now, Superman stands tall in the first spot. Smells Like We is owning the tarmac, confidently owning the 8th spot.
Yes, and in this high-octane opera, Smells Like We's voice resonates the loudest from that 8th.
As fast as a cut snake, Smells Like We is moving away from Mr. Bang.
Seems like Smells Like We has got the wind in their sails, but will Mr. Bang be able to weather the storm? It's clear that Smells Like We is dominating right now. They're making it very difficult for Mr. Bang to catch up.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Roll Postma trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Hugh Jass. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Roll Postma close in enough to mount a challenge? It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Roll Postma and Hugh Jass.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. Both drivers will need to stay calm and focused if they want to come out on top.
The excitement is palpable. This is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing is all about.
The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Roll Postma's inching ever closer to Hugh Jass. Roll Postma is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace.
Can Roel Postma keep it together?
A strong showing from Superman, who is currently first.
You've nailed it. The track is a battleground, and Superman's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
Superman's turned up the heat and put some shrimp between them and Hugh Jass, making a fair dinkum gap.
Superman's doing just what they need to, like a dog that's found a bone.
As the laps wind down, the hunt intensifies. Roll Postma is lurking, ready to unleash an overtaking masterclass on Hugh Jass. Roll Postma has just put in a faster lap than Hugh Jass, so that's going to give them something to worry about.
As long as Roel Postma can maintain that consistency and pace, it will be interesting to see.
And we're back, where the drivers are showing us some incredible skills.
Indeed, Rob, it's always exciting to see these skilled machines on the tracks. I mean, drivers. I always get them confused.
Every gear shift, every pedal push, Roll Postma's got one goal in mind: capturing Hugh Jass's spot.
The roaring engines are echoing Roel Postma's battle cry. Hugh Jass, can you hear the thunder?
It looks like Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard to catch up to Richard Rossier. The gap is over a second, but Megasaurus 55 is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Richard Rossier? Good news for Megasaurus 55, the gap to Richard Rossier has decreased. It's now down to 11.4 seconds.
He's waiting on that golden chance like a hound on a pork chop.
So, Hal, considering the high speeds and split-second decision-making involved in racing, what's the impact of even a minor lapse in concentration?
A minor lapse in concentration can have significant consequences, Rob. It could lead to an off-track excursion, a loss of position, or even a collision. That's why it's crucial for drivers to stay focused and alert throughout the race.
It looks like Hugh Jass is in control. They're ahead of Roll Postma by over a second, and it doesn't look like they're going to be challenged anytime soon. The gap between Hugh Jass and Roll Postma is getting smaller. It's now down to 0.4 seconds.
That's a worrying sign for Hugh Jass.
There's no escape now. Roll Postma is breathing fire and has locked onto Hugh Jass's tail. It seems like Roll Postma has got the bit between their teeth, improving on Hugh Jass's lap time there.
The question is now, can Hugh Jass respond to that in kind? They are going to have to pick up the pace.
Tactics are clearly going to play an important part in this race.
They are going to need to look after their tires and will want to keep something in them for the crucial latter stages, as their tires wear and fuel levels deplete and the handling changes.
And don't forget the track grip increases as more rubber gets laid down.
Indeed, the conditions are constantly changing and the drivers need to adapt, otherwise it can cost crucial time and jeopardize their position.
Look at that, Roll Postma is hot on the tail of Hugh Jass.
The gap between them is just over 0.9 seconds. Who will have the speed and skill to come out on top?
Mate, Armin Sunoiler's got a stretch ahead that's longer than the Nullarbor. Going to need more than a tinny to bridge that expanse.
It's like fishing without bait right now at Euro. They're not going to catch much at this rate. Races are the ballads of the asphalt. They ebb, flow, and crescendo. And just when you think the melody of Euro is predictable, comes the surprise note.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Roll Postma will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Roll Postma and Hugh Jass. Watching Armin Sunoiler try to close the gap on Mr. Bang is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes. Armin Sunoiler's giving it a red-hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with Mr. Bang. It's like chasing a roux on a motorbike. Oh, this is getting intense. Roll Postma is just a few car lengths behind Hugh Jass. It's game on now. Roll Postma has closed the gap to Hugh Jass. It's now down to 0.4 seconds. Ah, the age-old challenge. Mr. Bang is trying to catch Smells Like Weed, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks. Wow, Roll Postma is really pushing hard to catch up to Huge Ass. There's blood in the water for second place.
And the drivers know it too, Rob. They're giving it everything they've got, and you can see them pushing the limits of the car's capabilities.
Well, don't come the raw prawn. Roll Postma's giving it some stick, pulling Huge Ass into a mere 0.1 seconds. Wow, Superman is really pushing hard in these final moments of the race. The leader has done it. What an incredible performance from Superman, who is simply untouchable today. This is a race that will go down in the history books. Followed by Hippie in 6th. Jack M team end in 7th. Impressive second place finish for Huge Ass.
Impressive performance. They pushed themselves to the limit for a fantastic second place finish.
Excellent focus from Roll Postma to secure a fantastic third place on the podium.
Great job bringing it home.
8th sees Smells Like We, with Richard Rossier in 4th. Fifth is Megasaurus 55.